Welcome to Fitworks, perfect posture, natural pain solutions. I'm Sherry and this is Gary, and we are going to show you how to stretch yourself with your stretch strap.
Here at Fitworks, what we do is we correct muscle skeletal imbalances. So we design an exercise program to build specific muscle groups to line up all the joints in your body. If every joint in your body was in the proper position, you would have no pain and no discomfort in your body anywhere. And your flexibility would be fantastic, believe it or not. So all we need to do is correct your posture. Well, here at Fitworks, we're teaching people to correct their posture through the right exercises, but also on how to stretch. So stretching speeds up the process of correcting your posture. So we're going to show you how to stretch yourself. So first of all, Sherry's going to go on her back. Why don't you turn first? If you have a sway back, which is an excessive lumbar curve, you put a bolster here to support your hips, okay, and your spine when you're laying back. If you have a normal lumbar curve, this will feel like there's too much there. So
basically when you lay down flat on your back, if you can put your arms under the low of your back, you need that bolster. If you can't get your arms under there, you don't need it.
Okay, now she's going to go ahead and lay on her back. The best indicator of that is when a person lays in this position, if they had an excessive lumbar curve, this is uncomfortable. So that would, and it always feels good to do this. Yeah. And then put a bolster underneath your low lumbar.
Usually when you have a curve in your back, you're laying this way. If you can see this, my hips are forward.
Okay, now this strap that you've got is so strong, you can tow a vehicle with this. There's neoprene on the inside. So we're going to come up here, we're going to hook this up here. She's going to stretch her glute first. And what she's doing is she's pulling her leg, stretching the gluteus maximus, okay? And she's going to do a contract, relax. So she's going to push against that for like 10 seconds. And then she's going to relax and stretch it again. Most of the time, the gluteus maximus is not that tight on anybody. But every now and then, somebody surprises you. Okay, then go ahead and then stretch it again. So 3 times is fantastic. It's not sacred, but it's really great. The results is a lot better if you do a contract, relax 3 times. Now we're going to go to the gastrocnemius. So you slide this up on the ball of your foot. You fully extend your knee, and you're feeling the stretch right here in the gastroc. Gastroc from here to here, it sits on top of the soleus. And she's going to push against the band with her toes and cause a contract, relax. So she's now at length, and now she's contracting the muscle that's at length. And then she relaxes and she's stretching again. This sends a message to the Golgi tendons, relax. Now we're using that apparatus to lengthen the muscle. So you never have to be aggressive when you're stretching. Yeah, you don't have to force anything. It's just go through these steps, do it every day, you'll feel fantastic. So stretching becomes fun. Okay, now we're going to do the hamstring. So this brings it down to the arch of the foot. And she does slight knee flexion. And she's stretching. Let's go right here. So now she's stretching the hamstring. Okay, so we're stretching it. So we're at length. We've gotten as long as we can go, as far as we can go with the knee. So the muscle's at length. Now she's going to contract, push against that. That sends a message to the Golgi tendons, relax, because what happens when you contract a muscle, when the actin and myosin are mixed with the cross bridge heads in the muscle and the calcium, it causes a contraction. The muscle has to get longer. So it sends a message to the Golgi tendons, let go. So this technique, we're causing it to lengthen. So you always want to feel the stretch in the belly of the muscle. That's key. Never behind a joint. Okay, now we're going to bring this out and this is working on her adductors. And she's putting this on the table, and she's grabbing a hold of this and pulling her knee down. So this is stretching adductor longus brevis, maxis pectineus. And so that right there, we want to get this really long. I've never seen a person that had flexible adductors in 20 years. So that's something everybody needs to work on a lot. And we'll show you a couple of techniques. Now here's Gracilius. So she's pulling, this is a straight leg, she feels it right here. So those are adductor. Adductor means come to the midline of the body. Abduction means away from the midline of the body. So she's going to try a contract, relax with that. This really feels great. It looks a little awkward, but it feels great. And the proper range of motion in with this is 90 degrees. No, you don't have to take it to the side of your head.
Unless you want to dance. I dropped it.
Okay, now we're going to go bend the knee, plant the foot, and we're just pulling across the knee. That's for gluteus medius. On the side of the glute, we have 3 glute heads, maximus, medius, and minimus. Now this is always tied on everybody. And I personally think that the reason why this gets so tight is nobody's abs are strong enough. If your abs were stronger, this wouldn't get so tight. I think it's a compensation. Glutes are working harder than they need to. So now that her contract, relax, she's pushing that knee out against that band to cause that contract.
The whole time.
And then you relax and stretch it. Okay, now we're going to go with the straight leg, and what she's doing is pulling down, and she's picking up the gluteus minimus on the top of the hip right here. That always feels great. And she's also picking up tensor fasciae lata and a little bit of the IT band, but we're not stretching the IT band. So that stretches that. Now let's show you that on the other side. So while she's doing this, she's going to do contract, relax 3 times with each one of these. Just I want to talk about some other things. But watch what she's doing. So when a muscle gets tight and sore and stiff, that means dead cells are laying dormant in the muscle. That tells me that the muscle's working too hard. And the reason why it's working too hard is generally because you have an imbalance in your system, in your skeletal frame. These joints in your body are not in the proper neutral position. So the muscle's contracting. That's why you feel some muscle tighter than others. A healthy muscle is soft, like a bicep and tricep. It's soft. That's because the muscle contracts and relaxes. So the lactic acid flushes out the dead cell out of the muscle quickly. When you touch a muscle and it's sore and stiff, you're out of balance. It's like having the tires on your car all out of alignment and out of balance. And it's beating the car to death. You go in and get all the tires realigned and balanced, and now the car rides smoothly. It's the same thing here at Fitworks. People come in here, we're building and stretching specific muscle groups to line up all the joints and stabilize the joints in the proper position, and now you feel good. You don't have any more pain. So that's why we say we're taking you out of pain naturally by building and stretching specific muscle groups. It's just a matter of knowing what to do and get to work. I would say on average that if a person spends somewhere around 12 one-hour sessions, that's twice a week for 6 weeks, they can correct their posture and get really flexible and feel 10 years younger. We've been hearing this for 20 years. So those people who want to feel good, flexibility and correcting your posture plays a huge role in your health. So a healthy muscle is a soft muscle. I remember hearing a girl once years ago says, "Gary, I want buns of steel. I I want them as hard as a rock. And I says, no, you want them to look like buns of steel and soft as a pillow. That's a healthy muscle. Okay, so gluteus medius right there. So stretching yourself is something you'll do for a while. It really feels good to have a partner stretch you because you can get a little more range of motion in the stretch. But boy, this right here is really effective. This is something I would do every day and make a habit of it and enjoy it. Take the time. You're worth it. I'm going to take the time every day. I used to lay down in front on the carpet in my living room in front of the TV and watch a movie and stretch all the muscles in my body. And I find the ones that are super, super tight and just hold it and hold it, hold it. And if the movie was exciting enough, it could get me through the stretch. So here's you stretching her quadricep. This is great. Very, very good.
I'm kind of using my toes as a hook for the band.
Yep. So this is fantastic. This is something fun. I mean, think of all the, developing yourself. I like to think of life as developing yourself physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and economically. So the physical side is, let's get perfect posture. Let's get perfect flexibility. Let's eat clean. Let's drink water. Let's be healthy. Let's stay active. Let's go for bike rides. Let's go for walks, swim, runs, do all these kind of things. Find a sport that you enjoy and enjoy this body. Feel good. I feel fantastic.
The roller.
And it doesn't take that much energy. And here's something else you could do. You could take a foam piece, it could be a pillow or some books or whatever, and elevate the knee a little bit. And now the stretch gets a little bit higher and starts picking up the iliopsoas. And then you stretch the quad and the iliopsoas together. But you got to work your way into that. You got to make sure that
Your SI joint's gonna be.
it's not too tight. If that's too tight, get your quads loose before you start doing this. Make sure your SI joint's stable. That's perfect. We'll just do this side. Okay, now we're gonna have.
I can do this one.
You want to do that one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let's do it, girlfriend.
I don't want to walk around in circles all day, baby.
Let's ride. Let's keep it all balanced. Now you can have fun with this. Stretching. Make it something you do every day. Enjoy it. You're worth it. Feel good. Sherry and I go on bike rides every single night. We'll bike for about 45 minutes and come back and stretch one another, and it feels fantastic. And I don't know what I'd do if we weren't doing that. I don't know. This is so important. Okay, now she's going to show you how to stretch with the strap. Okay, so you've hooked up the band properly, and you take this strap and you put it on your wrist on both sides. And you're going to step forward, and she's stretching the anterior deltoid. That's the front of the deltoid right here. So this band is pulling her. She's putting her weight so it causes a pull. You're not contracting anything. You're stretching that. Now we're going to do a little bit of contraction, push our arms down. Okay, now relax and come back into the stretch. Just really slowly go into it. You don't want to ever stretch muscle fast. Okay, and then you could do another contract, relax. Good. Now we're stretching it. And you see how she's bringing her leg up? That makes her feel more comfortable, so she's not going to fall over. So that's safe. Now you're going to put the strap on the inside of the elbow. And then this is picking up the pectorals in your chest.
Okay, notice my arms are loose.
So we're not contracting anything, we're just stretching. Knee forward, kind of in a lunge, just so you feel safe, protects you from falling. contraction, and then you do a relax. Good. And you don't have to do the contraction heavy, just a little contraction and then stretch. Yep, that's good. Now we're going to do pectorals. So she's putting her hands behind her head, the straps on her arm, right by her bicep. And now she feels a stretch in the pectorals, that's your chest. Now when you do this stretch, if you feel pain in the shoulder, that means there's a muscle really tight deep in your shoulder, and you won't feel the pectoral stretch. So we need to fix the problem in the shoulder before you go to this stretch. So watch for that. I would say that 85% of the people that walk in this building have a problem with their shoulders. Okay, so now she's going to do another stretch. What you do is you turn this way. In fact, you're going to turn this way. So this picks up the medial deltoid. We'll show you on the other side. So let's pick up this medial deltoid, lean into that right there. That feels good. So you've stretched the anterior deltoid, the medial deltoid. And now here she's stretching the latissimus dorsi. So she's putting her body weight into it and the strap is stretching her. Now you could hook up one band or you can hook up two bands. If you're doing one band, just hold on to the handle. If you got two bands, use the strap. So you got one thing to hold on to. This feels fantastic, the latissimus dorsi being stretched.
Okay.
So you stretch your entire body. It feels fantastic. It's lots of fun. You feel good. Life's great. And let's just keep on keeping on and having fun together.